Hello, sport fan. This is Stephen Hill for Sports Choice Plus to bring you a very special breakdown. I'm going to be covering what the firing of Doug Pederson means for the Philadelphia Eagles and, most importantly, Carson Wentz. Before I get right into that, I want to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can get all the updates each and every time we have breakdown footage here at Sports Choice Plus. Make sure you hit the notification bell. You get all the updates each and every time it comes out. Hopping right into the debate of this. Preference this. I want to let people know full-fledged I am a die-hard Philadelphia Eagles fan. So when I tell you this affects me personally, it affects me big time. Just diving in, basically, buckle up, here we go. When you're looking at the Philadelphia Eagles organization, Coach Doug Pederson is possibly one of our most successful coaches we've had in all time. He didn't have the tenure of an Andy Reid. He didn't have a tenure of some of the better coaches name-wise that have been in Philadelphia. But when you look at the grand scheme of what he's done, he was the first Super Bowl coach we've ever had in our history of coaches. When you're looking at some of the play calling that he's called, it got a little stale. When you look at the locker room, he lost it possibly by the actions in the last game, and also the choice to start Jalen Hurts over Wentz. You know, that happens in times. But when you're looking at the grand scheme of things, I think that he bit off a little bit more he could chew towards the end of the season, trying to save his job. I think he felt the heat from the city of Philadelphia, but he also should have known, you know, they should have been able to give him another chance as far as that goes. When you're looking at the general manager, Howie Roseman, and also the owner, Jeffrey Lurie, the CEO, you're looking at guys that make choices for the Eagles. Sometimes those choices are bad decisions, like bringing Deshaun Jackson back. You're looking at, you know, possibly they should have not brought Alshon Jeffrey back. I think it's a number of decisions that were made for this team that have the, you know, cachet of an owner made the pick or a GM made the pick that really didn't need it. I think we have a little bit of dysfunction right now, and if Carson Wentz fixes his lips to want to be traded, I want the guy out of town because right now with Doug Pederson gone, there is no reason for Wentz to want out. Wentz has to prove that he's a Super Bowl worthy quarterback. He has to prove, you know, that he can actually be a leader for this team. Even though he started the last couple of years, he did not win that Super Bowl for us. That was Nick Foles' Super Bowl. And for the first time ever, I've seen a team gravitate more towards a backup than a starter. And especially during the Super Bowl run, the onus was on Nick Foles. And I think that bothered Carson Wentz a little bit, even though he was injured. You look at just the locker room, how it responded to Foles, how they were basically calling him their leader, you know. And when you're looking at the Eagles organization, Carson Wentz has a reputation for not being a good leader. He has a reputation for a lot of things in the locker room. So he has to do his part to repair that relationship. He has to also do his part by winning football games. When you hold on to the ball too long, when you're throwing interceptions and leading interceptions, and you don't even play the whole season, that speaks volumes. When you're sitting out a couple of games so the rookie can start instead of you, that speaks volumes. So when I'm looking at Carson Wentz, if I'm him, I want to compete against Jalen Hurts. I want to beat him out in a competition in camp, and I want to lead the Philadelphia organization because I feel like it's a good job. You have several different coaches out there that are qualified to take this team, and it's pretty well built. You look at the defense has little holes, offense has little holes. Needs to get younger at wide receiver, a little younger on the offensive line, but overall a really good job. So when I'm looking at, you know, the environment that it's in right now, Carson Wentz has to produce. Carson Wentz has to look in the mirror, Howie Roseman has to look in the mirror, and Jeffrey Lurie has to look in the mirror and say, what have we done at this point since the Super Bowl? What have we done as professionals to make this team better? How can we make this team better? It's just one thing after another with the Eagles, and a lot of times where it's smoke, there's fire. And Carson Wentz has to come out and prove that he's worthy of getting paid those big bucks. Don't run from it, Carson. I want you to man up and compete for the job. Make sure you're in camp and you're healthy and you're not missing games and you're a big boy. You wear your big boy pants and you go out there and you play football. So it's just a number of things that when it comes to Carson Wentz, it's just a lot of smoke. It's a lot of mirrors. It's a lot of stupid stuff. I want to see Carson prove he's worthy of that number 2 pick, getting picked basically, you know, a couple of years ago. So without a Super Bowl on your resume as the starter or the guy, the reason that it's there, It's not the same cachet as just being a backup quarterback for that game. It's just being straightforward with you. With the way that everything happened and, he got hurt, it's just one of those things. So, I think he has to produce Carson Wentz. I think Howie Roseman has to redeem himself. So does Jeffrey Lurie, and make a good draft happen. Make a good offseason happen with signings. Those are the ways that you get people to forget your missteps and you not being successful at certain things. Go ahead and win games. That's kind of how you fix things. So are you non-Eagles fans? Are you Eagles fans? Get in the comment section and tell me what you think. What does this mean for Carson Wentz and company? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Definitely check out Sports Choice Plus for all the breakdowns, all the details each and every week. We thank you so very much for checking out the content. And as always, we'll see you next week.